Hello everyone. Today we are solving kth largest element in an array. So we are given an array and we are required to return the kth largest element, and for this we can sort the given array. After this we have this array. After sorting the array, all we are required to do is to return the kth largest element. Suppose if k is equals to 4, that is we are required to return fourth largest element, then we have this integer as the fourth largest element. So all we are required to do is to return an integer which is located at index n minus k, where n is the number of elements, which is 8 in this example, and k is 4. So 8 minus 4 is 4, and therefore we need to return value which is at index 4. So this is very straightforward solution, but there is a standard way to solve this question. Let us see how we can solve this. So we know that if we are required to return an element which is the kth largest element, then we are required to return an element which is at index n minus k, and let us call this k. And this works only when our array is sorted. But here's the idea that we are not required to sort the whole array. All we are required to do is to bring the right element which belongs to this index. For example, if we are required to return seventh largest element, then it means 8 minus 7 equals to 1. That is the element which belongs at index 1, and the elements which actually belongs at this index, if the array is sorted, is 2. So all we are required to do is in some way get this element to its correct position and then return its value. But beforehand, we don't know whether which element is going to be placed here, so this is something that we are required to do. Now let us see how. The idea is to use this algorithm, which is also used in quicksort algorithm, and all it does is to choose a pivot element and try to bring that element at its correct position, and all the elements that are on its right are greater than the pivot, and all those elements that are on the left are less than the pivot after the execution of this algorithm. So this algorithm starts by choosing one element as the pivot, and we start by choosing this element as the pivot. Now we have an integer I which is initially at low, that is at this point, but during this iteration its value is increased by 1. So I'll start by actually making I point to this location and j is pointing to this location. Although initially this also points outside the array, but at the first iteration it will come down to point at this element. Now the idea is very simple. We start by increasing the value of I until we find an element which is greater than our pivot element. Now here we can see that the first element is 5, which is indeed greater than our pivot element. And here we will keep decreasing the value of j until we find an element which is lower than pivot. So 8 is greater, 9 is greater, 6 is greater, 7 is greater. 1 is the first element which is less than pivot. So now j is here and I is here, and I swap these values. So all these elements are already greater, so I am not required to do anything with them, and these elements are swapped. So now 1 is here and 5 is here. So this is how our array looks after the first swap. Now after swapping these elements, we can see that this value is now smaller than 2. Therefore we move forward and now I is here and this element is greater than I. Therefore we stop increasing the value of I here. We decrease the value of j until we find an element which is lower than our pivot element, which is 2, and now this is where j belongs. Now value of I is greater than j, therefore we break. And the idea is very simple, that if we swap these elements now, then there is a smaller element which is on the right and a greater element which is on the left, which is not something we want to do. So in this case we don't swap j and I, and we break out of this loop, and finally we swap our pivot element with j. As a result, these elements are swapped, as a result of which we have this array. Now we can see that all the elements which are on the left, well, there is only one, are smaller than 2, and all the elements on the right are greater than 2. And now this function return j, that is 1. So if the value of k is 1, then this is our answer. But if the value of k is greater than 1, then it means that we are required to do the same thing for this part of the array. And if value of k is less than 1, then it means we are required to do the same thing for the left part of the array. Suppose in our example, we wanted to find the fourth largest element, therefore n minus k, that is 8 minus k is 4. So the index which we are required to find is 4, which is greater than the current index, and therefore we will have to apply the same algorithm on this part of the array. So the function which calls this algorithm, or this partition function, sees that the return value is 1 and k is greater than 1. Therefore this time it calls this function such that low is 1 greater than the returned value. Therefore now pivot element is this, and high is definitely the previous high element. Now I starts from here and j starts from here, and I moves to right until it finds an element which is greater than our pivot element. Now this element itself is greater than our pivot, and therefore I stops here. J keeps on decreasing until it finds an element which is lower than our pivot element. It keeps on decreasing, it reaches here, it goes down again, and this time J is equals to low because this was low, and therefore we break, so J is here. Finally we swap low and J, that is we swap pivot with itself, therefore our array does not change, and this time we return this index which is 2. And this case is right because we can see that 3 is the element which is supposed to be here. Again, the function which called this partition function sees that 2 is smaller than k, and therefore this time it calls this function again such that low is this, therefore our pivot becomes this element. I starts from here, j is here. We start looking for an element which is greater than pivot, and it is this element itself. Then j starts coming down until it finds an element which is smaller than pivot, but again it ends up here, and therefore there is no swap, or let us say that pivot is swapped with itself, and this time the index returned is 3. Now as 3 is smaller than the required index, we increase the value of low by 1 and high remains to be the same, and this time we will apply the partition algorithm to this part of the loop. Now this is pivot, I is here and j is here. This element is smaller than our pivot, therefore I moves forward, and this element is bigger than our pivot, therefore we come out of this loop, and then j starts decreasing until it finds an integer which is smaller than the pivot element, and therefore j comes here, then here, and this element is smaller than our pivot element, but j and I are crossed, therefore we don't swap the values at index j and I, but we swap pivot with j. As a result, we have 6 here and 7 here, and we return this value which is 4, and it is equal to the required index which was 4, and therefore 6 is our answer. So as you can see that we haven't sorted the whole array as these elements are not sorted, and in this example more than half of the elements are already sorted, but there can be cases when we won't have to call this function again and again. For example, suppose we wanted to find the second largest integer which is 8, and initially if 8 was located here, in that case during the first iteration or during the first call of this partition function we will have 8 at its correct position. But our example also makes us think about the worst possible case, and think about it yourself. Pause the video. Well, the worst case is when the given array is already sorted and we are required to find the largest integer. In that case, the function which calls this partition method will call this partition method n time, and the time complexity of partition itself is n, because there are n elements and the calling function will call partition n times, therefore the worst case time complexity is n square. And we can see this that in the beginning this is our pivot element, and we try by the means of j to look for an element which is smaller than pivot, but j has to go till our pivot element because it won't be able to find any element which is smaller than the pivot element. Therefore value returned is 1, and the next time this algorithm applies from here to here. Again this is our pivot element, and this time also j keep on decreasing until it reaches pivot itself, therefore this is returned, and so on until we reach here. So that's why this algorithm works in n square worst case. So how we can decrease the time complexity? Well, if we shuffle the given array, in that case we'll have time complexity of order of n, but there is this case that the given array is already shuffled. For example, it could be 2, 1, 3 and 4, and then we apply shuffle function to this, it actually shuffles back to the sorted array. But the chance of this happening is very low because there is one such case out of n factorial ways to shuffle this given array. Also, this algorithm does not use any extra array, and therefore the space it takes is only order of 1. So now let us see the solution to this problem. Now I'll leave the shuffling part to you, and I'll start by writing the partition function. Now I have two variables I and j, and now I need to loop over the elements while v of I is less than our pivot element which is v of low. I do nothing, but if I becomes equal to high, then I need to break this loop. Similarly, while v of j is greater than v of low, I need to do nothing, I'll just keep on decreasing j, but if j becomes equals to low, then I need to break, because we don't want j to go to the left of our chosen pivot element. Now if I and j have crossed each other, then I break. Otherwise I swap the values of I and j, and finally I swap low and j, and then I return j. So this is my partition method. Now as I told you in the beginning, k becomes equal to n minus k, that is nums dot size minus k, and we have low which is 0 and high which is equals to nums dot size minus 1. Now while low is less than high, I need to know the position of the partitioning element. Let me store that in another integer z or p, which is equal to partition of vector nums from low to high. Now if p is equals to k, then we need to break. Else if p is less than k, then I need to make low equals to p plus 1. Else high becomes equal to p minus 1, and then return nums of k. Now this p less than k is the case we were dealing with. All the times we were returning our index, it was less than the required k. And this is the case when k is less than p, and it means suppose that the first element, that is the first chosen pivot element, is the greatest element, while what we are required to find is the third largest element. In that case, p returned will be the last index, but it is not our desired answer, so the next search will begin from the 0th index or from the low to 1 less than p. Therefore I said high is equals to p minus 1. So yes, that's it with this problem, and now I'll run the code, and there's some error. Okay. Accepted, and now it's time to submit this. Accepted. Now as we can see, our solution is slow now, and that is because we have not shuffled the array. So once we shuffle the array nums, the results will be different. So see how you can shuffle the array in your programming language, and then I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.